Hey guys, welcome to the Get Creative podcast. One of my favorite people on the planet, Chino Monte. He is out of Las Vegas, Nevada. I've hung out with this guy so many times. He is leading so many people, helping so many people, raising money, doing deals, helping people that are less fortunate get into housing and affordability. I'm super proud of him. I see him make moves. This is the guy, okay, just so you guys know, this is the guy that when I fly to Vegas and I'm speaking on stage, the people who are hosting me say, "Hey, we'll send you a limo, we'll send you a car, we'll send you a professional driver from the airport, pick you up, take care of you." And I go, "No, I'm good. I got myself a professional badass, not a professional driver." And that badass for me is Chino Monte. I text him, I go, "Hey man, I'm going to be in Vegas. Can you pick me up?" And I get to spend time with this guy and have a lot of really great heartfelt conversations about our past, our parents, and it's so fun to watch how he's leading our Las Vegas sub-2 Gator community, et cetera. Chino Monte, welcome to the show. How you doing, brother?
Happy to be alive. Thank you. Thank you, bro. Thank you so much.
So, Chino, I want to talk about a deal that you've done. I want to inspire somebody that's maybe driving to their job today. You want to tell us a little bit about a sub-2 deal, a Gator deal? What do you want to talk about today?
A substitute deal that I closed for Family Promise. Yes.
For Family Promise. Tell me all about it.
So we actually closed on it on the day of that we all did our national um, substitute gives things. I closed on it in the parking lot while we were doing the event. In that,
What?
yeah.
So let me give some context to this for people that are listening. So last year on November 22nd, our community that Chino helps run, we did a nationwide charity push for a charity called Family Promise. Family Promise is their charity is all about taking working families off the streets that have kids and finding affordable housing for them. So Chino's saying he bought a sub-2 deal or a creative finance deal. He closed on it in the parking lot the day after the charity happened, the big charity push we did last year, and he got a house. So, bro, where'd the house come from? And tell me all the details. Like what was your lead source? What's the deal structure? What does that look like?
It was a direct seller,
Mhm.
and their pain points really just tired landlord. Like,
Okay. Did
yeah,
you get this lead from cold calling, door knocking? Where'd you get the lead from?
talking, just talking to people,
Okay,
just
sweet.
yeah, just legit talking to people. I now also work with him as my partner for running independent living homes.
Last year, the Sub2 community did $5 billion in transactions, creative finance transactions, just in one Discord server. That's not including our Facebook group or other places that we connect as a community. You want to join this community? I promise you this interview that you're listening right now has changed one person's life, but it can change your life too. Come in, join the community, go to joinpacescommunity.com. I want to see you in there, and I want to see you in that Discord server exchanging deals with me.
So tell me the structure of the deal. Is it a single family home, multifamily home? What's the interest rate? What does that all look like?
So it's a single family residential, interest rate at 2.75%. Just straight
Dang.
subject to, yeah. Took over it. It's got like approximately about $200,000 in equity.
What?
Yes.
You're rich, bro. Okay, so you took over a sub-2 deal, 2.75% interest rate, single family home. You took it over and got $200,000 in equity. What was going on with the seller that the seller's like, I don't want this house anymore?
It was that tenant. The tenant was being a pain in the butt. The tenant
I got one
hasn't.
of those. I got one of those deals yesterday. I got a great deal where the seller tried to sell. He's like, my tenant is a nightmare. All I get is HOA calls all the time. I can't deal with this. I hate being a landlord. Sounds like your guy the same way. My guy, I bought the property. It's a 4-bed, 2-bath, single family home. We close on the deal, and the seller then calls me up. He goes, I got 3 more. I want to get rid of all 3 of these. So I got a 4-for-1 deal, which is awesome. So this seller, this tired landlord, is probably excited about you closing on this deal a couple months ago. Did you have to come out of pocket on this deal? Did you bring a bunch of money to the table?
No, zero.
$0.
$0.
Wow. What about closing costs? Did you bring some closing costs to the table?
No, not me. I brought a partner in.
Amazing. Okay, so you brought a partner in on the deal.
It was actually, I met her at the very first Sub 2 hike that Paige joined us back in November. Her name is Nikki Glorakis. She's also going to Squat Up Summit. So, like, you know, just go, just buy your ticket.
That's right.
Then,
I saw you actually tag her on a post this morning. You said, "Hey, make sure you give a day with Pace to Nikki, my partner."
Yes, yeah. She's amazing. Yeah. Well,
Okay, so this is, guys, everybody that's paying attention to this, this is kind of the cool thing, right? Chino's really smart. So he says, "I'll find the deal, and instead of me having to come up with a bunch of money, let me bring a partner to the table." And why this is great is because it gives Chino the ability to collaborate with other people, build relationships with other people, not try and hog all the deals himself. And then also it gives the ability to other people that are like, I'm not Chino. I'm never going to go out and find these deals on my own. I need a Chino. I need to be able to bring my capital to a deal and get involved. So Nikki didn't have to go find this deal. She didn't have to go negotiate. She didn't have to structure the paperwork. She didn't have to do that. She's just like, tell me where to send the check, Chino. And you're telling me I can be your partner on this deal. And that's all I have to do is just send a check and be not just an investor, but I can actually be a partner on this deal. Chino, being a go-giver that he is, structures it in a way that Nikki also wins. Now, how did you know this was going to be a Chino family promise house, bro? Like, how did you know this was going to be a good family promise opportunity?
Because of the this thing that I created called Serene Living, and I pitched this to Bridget because the challenge with a lot of, actually all of Family Promises properties that they rent, they're all located in Class C to D neighborhood. So it's like the vicious cycle keeps going and going and going. And for me, like, you know, it got me thinking, like, one way to break that cycle is to place these families in the Class A to B neighborhood, so then they can have a different outcome, different environment, different mindset.
I love that. Okay, so this is a Class B area?
Correct.
Amazing. All right. Now, has this property already been filled? Now we're basically in February of 2024 right now, and you closed on this in November of last year. So you've had it for a couple of months. Have you guys filled the property yet? Is it vacant? What's going on?
So unfortunately, Family Promise is putting a hold on that because they're trying to focus on, I think, like a huge project that they're breaking ground in February. We understand that. And Nikki and I, we've talked about this back in November, like, hey, if something doesn't come through, such as Family Promise, because, you know, it's a nonprofit organization, I have backup plans. So my backup plan is to legit copy Family Promise model to place displaced families in there or struggling families.
I like this. So you're just going to go, hey, guys, Family Promise, I appreciate you guys, but I'm not going to wait for you. I'm going to go and get this thing done on my own. Now, Chino, you're already helping. I know you have a handful of properties that, you know, you've got a couple of properties making you like $1,500 a month net profit on other exit strategies, very similar, where you're helping displaced families or people that have affordability crisis, kind of like a pad split model. But you guys are not really doing pad split right now. You guys are just doing co-living and you're doing this on your own. Is that correct?
Yes to both. Yes to both.
Or are you still using Family Promise? Or are you still using pad split?
Correct. Yeah. On one property, I'm using pad split, and then the other one's like shared housing with the less fortunate.
Okay, cool. Now, where do you find these tenants, Chino? Somebody's driving to work right now is like, how does he find these people? Does he like put out an ad? Does he just know all these people? What's going on?
So my previous responsibility was to meet the bigwigs, such as owners of pharmacies, rehab centers, hospitals, and whatnot. I would have like fine dining with them, you know, like nice dinners and stuff. Until I went to this side of spectrum, where actually I meet the actual clientele, the residents, the patients. So I go to rehab centers and now meet and greet them, so that I may see if they're a good fit for our homes.
Oh, I love that. Okay, cool. And why do you like this model better than just like a regular rental model?
I don't know. It's something about like humanizing conversations. To me, it just works. Like I get to meet the actual individual, and then I get to share that with my partner. Like, hey, this is how you communicate with them, because like a lot of them, they take their medication. Like it's not what you say to them; it's how you make them feel.
I love that, man. That's really freaking cool. So you're getting emotional income from this. One, right? You feel good about it. You feel like You're actually making your money matter, right? It's one thing to make money. It's another thing to make your money matter.
Yes,
And that's what you are focusing on, which is great. Now, Las Vegas is your main market, correct?
correct.
And if somebody was listening right now, they're like, okay, cool. Chino's doing deals. Chino's got a handful of properties out there. Chino's running a meetup in Vegas. Chino's obviously a leader in the sub 2 community. Somebody reaches out and says, I want to work with you, Chino. What are you looking for right now that somebody can bring to the table? Are you looking for more, private money lenders? Are you looking for more deals? Are you looking for people to work for you? What are the things in 2024 you're looking for, Chino?
So 3 things I'm going to look for in partners. 1, they must have time. 2, they could have money, right, to join with me. 3 is they need to, either or, right? Either of the 3, they need to have a property. Time, because I need more help with acquisitions. Money, because they could be my private money funding partners or, like private money partner. And then 3, if they have a rental that's just collecting dust, they should approach their local nonprofit organization to help house the less fortunate. That way they can bring it out to them.
I love it. Now, if you could go back in time, Chino, and have a conversation with yourself, right? 2 years ago, a year ago, whatever it is, 3 years ago, you're driving to work, right? I know you used to be in the catering business there in Vegas. What do you wish you knew earlier? That creative finance was a possibility, to join a community, jump into this exit strategy. What are the things you wish you knew earlier in your journey?
I wish I knew what I could bring to the table. That time was I had. That's what I could bring to the table. I wish I knew that. I wish I realized that.
Dang, I got to write that down. That's actually really good, because a lot of people in the very beginning are like, well, everybody says go collaborate, go bring value to somebody, but they don't know what the heck that means. And you just laid it out. You said, I had time. And I don't think you realized back in the past that time was a really valuable asset. You could help people get deals done or bring acquisitions to the table or whatever. Yeah. Knowing time, how could somebody in the audience, right, bring their time to your table in terms of value?
Learn acquisitions. I also have like a team of new investors that what I do is I do everything backwards. So I share my knowledge with them as far as mindset, right? So I put them in a corner. Like we went from training them how to find condos, townhouses, because there's so much rental restrictions. So they need to pivot, right? Every time that there's a conversation that comes up about rental restrictions. So now we pivoted to assassin roleplay, which we give them a phone number with no information. They don't know if it is a seller or an agent or a foreclosure whatsoever. They just talk to them.
How can somebody get a hold of you if they're listening to the podcast right now? How can somebody reach out and collaborate with you?
It's very easy, because my social handle is Chino Monte, and it has my phone number on there already.
Okay, great. I mean, I've only known one Chino in my entire life. Is Chino a Filipino name?
It is. My friend's nephew, his name is also Chino.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I guess it must be common where you guys are from, but I've never met another Chino in my life. You are in my mind, you're the one and only Chino on the planet, my guy. All right, guys. So this is Chino Monte, Las Vegas, Nevada. If you guys are out there going, I want to get started, I want to collaborate with somebody, what do I bring to the table? He just told you. He told you that you bring your time to the table. You don't actually have to know stuff, but you have to be committed, and you have to be willing to give up hours of your day to go to somebody like Chino and go, Chino, tell me what to do. I'll do it. Chino, tell me how to do it, and I'll do it. Chino, tell me how often to do it, and I'll do it. And Chino will work with you. So guys, look for him on Instagram. And also he has his cell phone over there. Chino Monte, my guy, bro. I'm proud of you. What does 2024 look like to you? What are your big goals for the year?
To help more less fortunate in between. So yesterday's run that I did with a nonprofit organization that we helped pull out 4 people off the streets so they could turn a new leaf. What it is, unfortunately, I witnessed some where some people we could not help because they didn't have any drug or alcohol or substance abuse problem. They're just homeless. And they needed to get out and they can't get a job because they have criminal record, right? Because once the cops or, like they go in there and bulldoze the place, if they don't leave on time, they get arrested. Yeah, they get arrested. So it's a vicious cycle. So they can't get a job because one, they don't have an address. They don't have a home, right? Two, they have that record over and over again. So that gap right there, I'm going to fix.
I love that, man. I was watching a documentary about the guy who invented Flaming Hot Cheetos the other day. I don't know if you've seen this documentary.
Not yet.
He's a convicted felon, couldn't get a job, begging people to give him a job. Him and his wife are like, they don't have a refrigerator. Their kids are starving. They had to go to like their parents' house every day to get food. They're behind on bills. And he finally lands a job as a janitor. And he lands a job as a janitor at Frito-Lay, and he can't work himself up because they constantly tell him over and over and over, sorry, we gave you an opportunity, man. You're a felon. You have a criminal record. You got the one opportunity in your life. You got it, that you get to be a janitor. And for 9-10 years, he worked there at Frito-Lay. And then one day, somebody said something to him, and they said, you should think more like a CEO and less like a janitor. And he went home and he's like, if I was a CEO of Frito-Lay, what would I do? And he goes, I would invent flavors for the Hispanic market. And so he went home and him and his wife made their own little slurry and they put it on chips, sent it to the CEO directly, bypassed everybody. CEO flies in and makes this guy the head of international marketing of Frito-Lay. Went from being the janitor directly to the head of international marketing and multicultural marketing. And it was so interesting and inspiring to see that, is that you have to remember, like, what Chino's working on, guys, is that he's helping bridge the gap between people who have made mistakes and still need a second, third chance, like we all do. But their criminal record is really keeping them from being able to do that. And Chino Monte is the bridge that's taking them across that big ravine that's in their life. So, bro, that's commendable. And I'm super proud to have you as a friend, that I know you're working on those kind of things. That's inspiring.
Man, thanks. Like, it's because of you, man. Like, you amplified my thought, my brain during that mastermind event that I went back in November 2022. Like, legit, I saw the opportunity. There was an empty seat right next to you, right? Because no one had one-on-one with you. When I saw the empty seat, I'm like, this is my chance. I gotta get this chance. And then you and I, we sat. That was my first time speaking to you. Bro, like, you just amplified my brain. You amplified my vision. And now I'm able to help more people because of you. So thank you.
It's always who you were. All I did was give you permission to be who you really are, Chino. That's it.
Well, it's making a huge difference. Thank you, bro.
I know. And the good thing about it, too, is that, leaders create leaders. And then those leaders create leaders as well. And so I'm so proud to watch you. And people DM me and they'll say, thank you for Chino Monte. Thank you. People won't say, hey, thank you for teaching me creative finance. They say, thank you for Chino. Thank you for having Chino be a leader in Vegas. Thank you for inspiring Chino to do these things, because it's helping me. It's making a difference in my life. And bro, you are the difference maker in 100+ people's lives just in our local market in Vegas. And there's other people around the country that are inspired by you as well in our community, that are going out and being consistent with their meetups, because you're being consistent. Even when it's hard, even when it's challenging, you're consistent, and it's inspiring to people, bro. You're doing a great job. I'm super proud of you and so grateful to call you my friend.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate you. Thank you, Taya.
Yes, Taya did a good job. For those who don't know who Taya is, Taya runs the back end of the podcast. And so if you're one of the students, Sub-2 Gator or Top Tier TC, you'll probably interact with her at some point, I hope. My goal is to amplify people like Chino, who are out there doing deals but don't have a podcast, don't have a YouTube channel, and they're so busy building their business that they don't have time to build a brand. And so it's my job to inspire them and put into them, hey, Chino, it might be time for you to start your own podcast. And if you guys are listening to the podcast right now, go and DM Chino right now and tell him, Chino, we need to hear more about what you're doing. Start a weekly podcast. Talk about what you're doing for an hour per week and inspire us all. Go and DM this man and apply some pressure to this handsome son of a gun. Thanks for coming on the show today, Chino. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Baze.